Hi, this is Miss Tunstall. I just wanted to give you guys a few more tips and tricks to help you with your Vocal Olympics practice at home and in class. So, excuse me, with breath control, one thing that you're going to find really helpful is if you are standing in actor's neutral with a nice tall posture. Imagine a string pulling up from the top of your head, so make sure that your neck is nice and straight. Again, take a nice big yawn before you start. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And when you begin, nice big loud voice when you start. You want to try and keep your breath as steady and even as possible. So rushing isn't always going to be the answer. You might be inclined to rush through with the poem and be really fast with it. So saying, life's not been the same since the baby came, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, all the way through. But if you noticed, I took a breath there. My breath wasn't fully prepared. So, again, when you take your breath, life's not been the same in my family since the day the baby came. And you'll see, again, I took a breath. One, because I've not practiced. But the more you take the breath, a shallow breath in, first through the nose, slightly deeper, and then a third, you're going to have a better chance at getting through. Okay, so moving on to inflection. Again, inflection, guys, is your voice going up at the end or down at the end, or if it stays nice and flat. So you want to think of asking questions or making statements, or that teacher you might have in class whose voice just never stays the same. It stays all on that same level. So when you say 2, 4, 6, 8, make sure those words are nice and clear. 2, 4, 6, 8. And rising, just 2, 4, 6, 8. Falling. 2, 4, 6, 8. Monotone. Remember, no emotion in monotone. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then good is a mix of everything. Good is how your voice sounds every day. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? Good. Moving on to pronunciation. So pronunciation, remember, the hardest ones are going to be those words that we tend to have double letters on. So in particular, like group B, line 1, those double D's and double T's, because we tend to say those letters the same way. So just make sure that when you're practicing, it's going to sound funny, but you want the stuff, if you feel like you're over-pronouncing it, then you're probably doing it right. So it should be pin versus pen. You want to make sure that those sound different. Pin and pen, and battle and water. If you feel like you're really overdoing it, then you're hitting the right note. Remember, if you do with this one in particular, the pronunciation, it's a group of words from Group A and a group of words from Group B. Okay, you've got to do one from A and one from B, and that's what I'm looking for. And make sure your pronunciation is really precise. If you have any questions on the pronunciation, check with your group mates, check with me. I'm more than happy to help. And again, with all of these events, you can always have your paper. Okay, so moving forward into volume. Again, this is another one where what I would recommend is if you're doing this event, write your ABCs that you have to do backwards right below the regular ABCs. Don't sing this event. It's going to be really hard to control your volume if you try to sing the ABCs like you regularly would. So start quiet, start at like a whisper level, and go forward. So what I generally recommend is like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and go on from there. So that by the time you hit Z, you're at about a normal speaking volume. And then normal speaking volume back down. Okay? Alright, so moving forward, emphasis. Emphasis, guys, is really simple. And emphasis is kind of your choice. Because remember, emphasis is making the word sound differently somehow. So you can make the every third number sound happy. You can make it sound angry. You can put a different accent on it if you can do accents. But it should be the same every time. So if you're going to be happy when you bring that third number out, make every third number sound happy. Or make every third number sound angry. Whatever you do, keep it consistent. Okay? But don't make it so like, blah, in your face that it like makes your audience jump. Okay? All right, rate. This one is tricky, okay, because your goal with this is to get that poem done in exactly a minute. So for my music friends, if you have a metronome on your phone, put your metronome to about 70 beats per minute. And that should get you right in that time for about 1 minute. But you have to try and do a minute exactly. So for my friends that don't have a metronome on your phone, you can snap at about this pace. Sorry guys, it was happening off camera. So about that beat. And then adjust fast or slow based on where you fit for the minute. Now the key is to find the evenness of the words. And what I mean by the evenness is you don't want to be like the crocodile with cunning smile sat in the dentist chair. You want to have it be very smooth, okay? We're looking for smoothness with your words. So with that beat, you want it to be the crocodile with cunning smile, etc., all the way to the end. Make it very even. Again, the goal is to have some emotion, some feeling, and have it be even to hit that minute goal. Okay? All right. So moving on. Articulation. Guys, we do tongue twisters every day. So pick 3 that you think you do really well. Remember, you want to be nice and sharp in all of your words. So a really good way to practice this is to do the tongue twisters we do in class. Also, work those things like the pa-pa-pa-pa, ba-ba-ba-ba, ta-ta-ta-ta, da-da-da-da. And that'll help you with your articulation tongue twisters. All right, moving into flexibility. Flexibility is the ability to really do a character and hold on to the character. So it's that ability to have your spoken word be really clear. It is finding a character and being able to stick with it. It's how can you use your voice and play with your volume and play with if you're making your voice high or if you're making your voice low. Can you do like something that's really nasal, like a nerd voice, or can you do like a surfer voice? Can you do a little old lady voice? Can you do a mean teacher voice like we saw in our Viola Swamp video? So if you're doing this event, what you want to do is take a word from group A and a word from group B, and you're basically making a sandwich. So say for example you want to do a love-struck cowboy. Whatever your interpretation of that might be, you can use physicality, you can use gesture, and you can use a voice. So say you want to do that love-struck cowboy, you might be like, don't look at me like that, however you might want to do. But you have to do that exact same voice, that exact same character 4 times in a row. Now you can take a breath in between and do that same, don't look at me like that thing, but 4 times in a row. And then you would take an entire new character. That is a character from column C plus a quality from character D and do an entirely brand new character. So you'd maybe do a completely rage-filled jock, whatever that rage-filled jock might be, physically and vocally. And you perform it the exact same way, 4 times with the line, don't look at me like that. Okay? With diction, guys, diction is when you choose words and why you choose those words. So with the diction exercise, you got that list of words down on the bottom, and basically it's like, why do you use the word inform versus tell in a situation? What's the purpose? What's the reason? So if you're doing that particular exercise, what you need to do is choose, sorry, ooh, 1 second. Sorry, guys. You need to choose 3 words on there. You need to make sure that you are pronouncing them correctly. So if you need help with pronunciation, please check with me, check with a member in your group. And you need to look up the dictionary definition. So you will need to tell us if it is a noun, verb, adverb, adjective, etc., and then the good definition of it. You need to be familiar enough with that word that you can have a card with you, like do it on an index card, but be familiar enough with it that you can be comfortable explaining it. Like if you had to teach it to an elementary schooler, be knowledgeable enough about your word that you can explain it clearly. One really quick thing. I wanted to go over this with everybody with emphasis. Okay, so, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, guys. All right, so this is a really great example, a way to practice emphasis. So you can see the sentence, I don't eat cats. This is a great way to practice this at home. So you can see that in each of these 4 sentences, the same sentence over and over, I've underlined a different word. So emphasis is used to convey meaning. So a good way to practice this is to take this sentence and just practice it over and over and over to help you with emphasis. So the first time we're going to say, I don't eat cats. And what kind of meaning does that give that sentence? Okay, so again, I don't eat cats. And then the second time we've got, I don't eat cats. I don't eat cats. So it kind of says, I don't eat cats, but somebody else does. Or maybe, I don't eat cats, but I eat something else. I don't eat cats. Okay, so obviously we don't eat cats, but maybe we do something else with them. Probably pet them, love on them. I don't eat cats. I don't eat cats. Okay, clearly there's something wrong with eating cats there. Alright, but guys, that's a really good way to practice emphasis at home. If you have that event, it's basically the same thing that you're doing, but with numbers. Alright, so our final thing, projection. Projection is all about getting your voice out to the back of the house whenever you perform. So a really good way to practice this at home and to practice your part of your poem is super simple. You lie on the floor, make sure your back is completely touching, make sure your legs are stretched out on the floor. You want to put your hand on your diaphragm, and the easiest way to find your diaphragm is put your hand just on your belly button. Take a nice deep breath in, again, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just say, ha. Simple as that. Ha. Then take a nice deep breath in, out through your nose. Sorry guys, it's the morning and my coffee hasn't kicked in. In through your nose, out through your mouth, again, ha. Make it a little longer, extend that ha, ha. And then what you should do is take whatever portion of the poem you're saying, stay on your back, hold your paper up above you, and read your poem out in a nice full voice. Be as clear as you can. Breathe at the punctuation. So when you have a comma, it's a shorter breath. When you have a period, exclamation point, or question mark, you can take a little bit of a longer breath. Okay. I hope some of these tips have been helpful for you guys. Good luck on your practice at home and in your practice in class. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email or drop me a line here on Google Classroom. And best of luck in the Vocal Olympics, you guys. Bye.